Hey everybody, it's Dr. Kara and I am coming to you today with the June 2020 forecast. And I am recording this in the midst of great turmoil in the United States. And I'm not sure what to say. You know, it's been super hard to find the words to express the horror, the compassion, the need for change that is so clear in this country, and also when I can't find the words, I always of course turn to the animals to give me the words that have meaning for me, the messages that I want to share that I might not be able to just articulate on my own. And so you know, where I am right now is this place of great awareness of the inequities in the world, the horrors in the world, and a Black man being killed by white police officers is one example of the many injustices in the world. In this country, there's still children of immigrants in prison. There's so much of the same thing happening in different ways. And I think that one of the things that I think is important in these times is, number one, to take action, to speak up, to have our voices be heard, to come together, to create solutions to the problems that are going to get at the root of what's going on. And when I look at that, the message that comes through me is really about how we can collectively come together to make change, but that change happens at the inside level. The place of power for each of us is inside ourselves. It's the individual work that we can do on ourselves, and then when we each do that work, we can collectively come together in a much stronger position. It's not to say we don't come together first. I mean, it doesn't have to be in that order, but I think that the opportunity here is to recognize the pattern. And the pattern of any kind of racism or discrimination or violence is, it comes from inside of an individual. And it's based on, I think it's based on a fundamental misunderstanding. And that when we perpetuate trauma against somebody else, it's because we're experiencing trauma inside of us. Violence against somebody else is we're being violent with ourselves. And the root of that is the misunderstanding that somehow I am different from you. This is what, you know, the great separation sickness of the world. It's the misunderstanding that we're separate from each other, that we're separate from source, that we're separate from nature. And I think that is the fundamental piece that has to be addressed in order to have long-lasting change. And so that, of course, does not come from me. That comes from Sea Turtle, who says that the illusion of separation is the cause of the most suffering in humanity. It's our fundamental misunderstanding that somehow we're different or separate from nature, from source, from God, from everybody else. And we can see somebody else as different from us and therefore less than ourselves. The other thing, that message from the animals that's really coming forward to me, is the recognition that when we are discriminating against somebody based on a perceived difference, skin color, hair color, political persuasion, sexual orientation, gender identification, you know, citizen of a different country, whatever it is, it's a form of xenophobia and tribalism. And the chimpanzee, the message from the chimpanzee is that that's their biggest challenge, is recognizing that we are all the same, right? So we are all one family, and to the chimpanzee, family is everything. It's the greatest thing that there is. But if you focus exclusively on your family, then you exclude everybody else from your circle of understanding and caring. And that's tribalism. And the chimpanzee says, that is my biggest challenge, is to overcome tribalism. And that's what chimpanzees are working through in their spiritual growth in this lifetime. And the message is to remember that we are all one. We do not identify by our differences. We identify through our similarities and bring us all together. So for me, the forecast for June, what's coming up, is that it's very much in our face during this pandemic that we are a global community. We cannot see those arbitrary lines of countries separating us anymore. We are completely connected with every other person on the planet. We are completely intertwined with nature. We can't deny that. It's so fundamentally clear, and we need each other, and we need nature, and we need to respect ourselves and to respect nature. And so all of this stuff is coming up. It's like the two sides of the pendulum, right? Like, we're all connected, but you're different than me, and so you're less than me. So I feel like the opportunity for each one of us this month is to start to explore what that means, and start to see what can we heal inside of ourselves that sees ourselves as separate from or different from anybody else. It's a misunderstanding, and we aren't born feeling separate or different or more than somebody else. We learn that. We've created that belief in that culture, and we can uncreate it. And the power is with the individual. And as each individual does that healing on him or herself, it spreads, and it can spread quickly and like wildfire through individuals. And as we heal ourselves, it's easier for the next person to heal themselves. If we heal one thing, it's easier for the next thing to get healed, and we become more and more healed, and we return to that truth, that oneness, that divinity that resides inside each one of us. And I think that I'm taking a little bit of flexible liberties this month with my June forecast, because I am for sure inserting the lessons that I've learned from the animals from my perspective. I'm not just asking for a global barometer of what's going on. I'm definitely saying that this is what I'm seeing and feeling, and I can't not address that. So it's a little bit different, but this is because I've been talking to these animals for so many years and receiving these messages. That's what's coming forward for me to share with you this month, is the power is within you. You are divine. You are a gift. And that's true for every single individual on this planet. And we are lucky to be in a position where we can heal ourselves, and then we can go and help heal others, and we can right the wrongs, and we can bring justice back to our homes, our communities, our countries, our nations, our global community. So I really see this month, the forecast is look within, heal something, heal some misunderstanding inside of you. Use whatever catalyst you want, if it's racism, if it's sexism, if it's injustice against animals, whatever is up there inside of you causing you upset or causing you to judge other people or animals or situations, start there, heal that, and then you come to the same situation from a different place, and then we can heal the situation. We heal ourselves, and then we heal the situation, because we aren't perpetuating it. As long as we are in that place of I'm different and separate, then we can't heal the universal I'm different and separate issue, right? So let's heal it inside ourselves as we come together collectively to heal it inside our communities, inside our institutions, and inside of this global community. So as you go through the month, I invite you to take the sea turtle with you, because the sea turtle is really about being fully yourself and healing the illusion of separation and decreasing suffering. Bring the chimpanzee with you. Love your family, but love everyone as your family, because we are all one. And finally, the gibbon also has a really beautiful message for us this month, because The Gibbon is also about family love, and the message that they share with us is that love moves mountains. So my teachers at University of Santa Monica always said that love is that healing is the application of love to the places inside that hurt. Love is what's going to heal the hurt. Let's bring love to the situation. Let's bring our old hurts, our old wounds that have been buried inside us in the dark, out of the dark, into the lightness. Let's heal them. Just as we're seeing on this national level here in the US, these old wounds have been buried and they're coming up into the light. So let's bring love to the situation, to the people involved. Let's heal the fundamental core misunderstanding that we are somehow separate and different and more than or less than anyone else. And wherever you are in the world, apply this to where you are and see how you can heal yourself and bring that healing everywhere. But what the world needs now is love, sweet love, as that song says. And so let's start by loving ourselves, loving our hurts, loving our wounds, loving our dazzle, and then extend that circle of love out in bigger and bigger circles. And as we do, we're healing everybody and everything in the path. Let's come back to that place of love, of connection, of understanding, of expression of the love that we are, not the wounds that we carry with us. So a little bit different message this month, but I hope it finds you in a similar place of self-reflection and self-healing, and helps you to become a little bit more of the truth of who you are as we collectively move forward and heal as much as we can, because that seems to be what's coming up this year on this planet, is healing. So thank you for being part of my community. Thank you for being the light that you are in the world. And I think as light workers and light bearers, we have even more of a responsibility to have individual impeccability, to really clear as much as we can inside of ourselves, heal as much as we can, so that we can be a light for others and show them the way. So I know this community is full of amazing, amazing people doing incredible things. And so I just invite you to join me in May in self-reflection and self-healing, and let's be the change that we want to see in the world. And let's not stop with ourselves. Let's bring that circle of love everywhere we go and keep healing going. All right, have a beautiful month. I look forward to seeing you next month. Bye, everybody.